Hey, ladies, how are you? I'm gonna call my twin, and I just want to let y'all know: be toxic for the rest of your 20s. You only get one life. Live your toxic 20s. You never get to be 20 years old, 21, 22, 23, 24, none of that ever again in your life. Be toxic, because don't get in your 30s thinking you could just go slashing tires and doing all this crazy shit. You too old for that now. You too mature. Be toxic for the rest of your 20s. And if you delusional, turn that shit up a notch. Enjoy the rest of your 20s. You only get to do this shit one time.
She's a chick that many women look up to. I feel really sorry for this generation. Glorilla is nothing but your average female rapper. If Cardi B, Doja Cat, and Megan Thee Stallion are not enough, this one tops off the big four of 304s. I mean, the Boston Celtics of KG, Rondo, Allen, and Pierce were really a good big four, but these hoes are not. Glorilla? Nah. Horilla? That's her real nickname. Modern women are doomed to dysfunctional relationships not because Chad and Tyrone's dicks are always out for business. We all know it, and so do modern women. The real reason why modern women are just side chick and pump and dump material is their influences. We all know that a person is the sum of the 5 persons they spend the most time with, but little do they know how to live up to that. Women often showcase very negative traits and ruin relationships.
Since our society only chooses to focus on toxic masculinity, I'm here to provide you with my list of the top toxic femininity traits. Utter disdain for men. These are the women that categorize all men with the stereotypical toxic masculinity traits. Just because someone has a Y chromosome does not mean that their only intention is to sleep with you, cheat on you, or traumatize you with their uncontrollable aggression and anti-feminist behavior. Always trying to outman men. Same women who want to be equal to men also pray for the downfall of men. Amazing how that works. Ladies, if you spend your entire life trying to prove to men that you can be better than them, you'll attract none of them and kickstart the extinction of the human race. No accountability. Toxic women bask in oppression and victimhood. It's their go-to excuse whenever they're confronted with irrational behavior. If a woman instantly rationalizes her actions with her oppression, you're fighting a losing battle. Inflated egos. These are the women that have literally no respect for themselves, but feel that because they're a woman, they deserve a Wall Street billionaire with a purity ring who agrees with literally everything they say.
What do you mean?
Don't leave. Women leave 70% of the time. If they're college educated, they leave 90% of the time.
Correct.
Women ruin relationships and they ruin families.
Women
so
leave.
Women typically do it.
Actually,
and so if a guy ask
is
the majority of men, their first choice is not a baby mother.
Mama.
Just like our first choice typically is not a short broke guy.
That's right.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Now will we put up with a guy that's shorter if he's good looking? Sure. Will a guy put up with a single mother if she has some other things that she brings to the table? Maybe she's attractive, maybe she has other stuff, maybe she's submissive, whatever it is that he values. Yeah, but it's most men, it is not their first choice.
Okay.
In today's video, we're delving into what society dares to even mention: toxic women, what they do, and why you should avoid them like the plague. Stick around because I'm sure you're going to love this one. But before we go any further, let me share the comment of the day. Shout out to World with Reason. He said, "Modern women are like purchasing a ship to sail that's already long sunken. Get your passports, gentlemen, and sail on a boat that's seaworthy." Well put, brother. Please don't forget to reach out to us by email to claim your $5 for that comment of the day. As usual, guys, I'll pick one comment from each video. It may be the funniest, the most liked, or one that touched me, so don't forget to leave a comment and you may be our next winner. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons too, as it helps a lot. And now, back to the video. Embrace your masculinity. What's the most common word to define today's relationship? Toxic. And look, it's not because there are no good men left. There are many amazing guys out there, really. Bad apples everywhere, but not too many. But when it comes to women, toxicity is as real as their love for drama and fallback plans. That's the real problem. More often than not, when you deal with a woman, you're probably stealing her from an ex she left a week or two ago, if not just a few hours. Then they complain about how unhealthy their relationships are. Unfortunately, this doesn't stop there. Did anyone really think that a woman who can't stand being single is an easy burden to deal with? So innocent. When you deal with this kind of woman, guess what? These women are real energy vampires. Being a gentleman to them is the last thing they deserve. So, the first trait that these types of chicks showcase is victimhood, the perpetual act of playing the victim. It's a role donned so effortlessly, a facade that knows no personal accountability and places the blame squarely on others, in particular, exes. Identifying this demeanor early on is vital not to fall into this woman's mind games. If all her exes are abusers, manipulative, and all the pejorative names under the sun, what does this say about these guys? Nothing, but it says more than enough about her. That's the key of the matter. Picture this, a woman who continually casts herself as the victim, regardless of the situation. She evades responsibility for her actions, forever pointing fingers at external factors or men. It's a strategy to deflect guilt and escape the need to confront her own flaws, cause, yeah, women do have tons of flaws. Nothing wrong with that, but she better self-improve if she wants a good man by her side. This pattern of behavior is emotionally draining to any man. Sure, many men would put up with that, but at some point, all they'll be interested in is getting in this woman's pants, if at all.
I don't care what anyone says. Good people get tired of being good to ungrateful people. You can be the nicest person in the world, but eventually, you're going to hit your threshold and you're going to say enough is enough.
It's a skillful art, the victim's act. The chick who loves playing this role will have a repertoire of tales showcasing their perpetual suffering. She narrates stories where she emerges as the innocent party, wronged by the world and its inhabitants. It's a self-crafted narrative where they conveniently omit their own missteps, misdeeds, or faulty decisions. Did she date a gang leader? Nah, not her fault. She was too young and naive to realize. Did she have sex with her boyfriend's friend? It's her ex's fault because he wasn't replying. And the list goes on and on. Accountability is non-existent. Look, in a relationship, this can manifest in numerous ways. The victim player might use emotional tactics to manipulate the man, forcing him into a guilt trip for perceived wrongs. She'll craft the reality where she is eternally oppressed and bears no responsibility for any discord or disagreement. So, if you tell her that you can't or simply don't want to spend tons of money, she'll call you a bad person or partner, and in fact, she might even compare you to other men who have over-the-top lifestyles where women are spoiled.
A woman should never ask a man to provide more than he can provide. That's wrong. A woman should always live within the man's means. And if the man has the means, great. If he doesn't, don't ask for it. Yeah. And if you want more, work together to build it up.
Like, wow, you're a victim because I can't or won't buy you a Gucci bag? Needless to say, if that's the case, thank God for showing you her true colors. Dump that whiner and never look back. The victim mentality shields her from taking accountability. Her actions and choices become an intricate web of justifications and rationalizations, aka moral gymnastics. She, the so-called victim, is never at fault. It's the circumstances, the environment, or the people around them. They absolve themselves from any obligation to amend their behavior or seek growth. Engaging in a relationship with such a woman is like navigating a maze with shifting walls. The rules change at their whim, and you might find yourself constantly on the defensive, struggling to understand why simple discussions escalate into blame games. Yes, a toxic woman will always blame you, but never herself. The victim player becomes an emotional manipulator, pulling the strings of your empathy to always favor their side. Recognizing this trait is the first step toward breaking free from its clutches. It's crucial to realize that 9 out of 10 times, if not always, this victim role is just a guise for evading personal accountability. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect and shared responsibility. But these toxic chicks know nothing about it. When the woman consistently assumes the victim role, it disrupts this balance, fostering an atmosphere of toxicity that only players are willing to put up with for the sake of getting pussy. Conversations about this behavior are vital, and calling out Horilla and similar influential figures is not a joke. It's almost a moral obligation. We're all grown-ups, so trying to turn a toxic woman into a housewife is a lost cause. And surely, don't ever try to reason with any chick who listens to these types of 304s. They'll dress in a certain type of way, get all the attention they want, get played by a Chad, and once they find a decent man, call him boring because he's not toxic. The saying goes, don't fix it if it's not broken, but in this case, if she's broken, especially on the inside, including her punani, let her deal with her own self-inflicted pain. Victimhood is an attribute that often lurks beneath the surface, subtly influencing interactions and dynamics. Remaining vigilant will allow you to recognize this toxicity and make the decision to ditch this stinky type of woman right away. Ultimately, your well-being and emotional health should always take precedence, and it's almost a responsibility to pick and choose relationships that are built on trust, respect, and genuine love, not on blame games and real mental abuse. Listen to real experts.
Female hyper users of Instagram are also, they're sadistic, Machiavellian, psychopathic, and narcissistic, and they optimize for short-term mating strategies. So they're promiscuous, and that's a marker for antisocial behavior. Antisocial people, broadly speaking, have more sexual partners. They start engaging in sex earlier. They're more callous in their utilization of themselves and others. And so...
Would you call that toxic femininity? Is there such a thing as toxic
absolutely.
femininity?
We know what toxic femininity is. It's,
Okay.
it's the female version of antisocial behavior is reputation savaging. Yeah. Gossip, innuendo, backbiting, and females can be very good at that. Now, men can do that too, and they do, especially on social media. But it's definitely the case that social media enables female antisocial type behavior, clearly. And so it scales. We were talking about, whether the feminine ethos scales. Feminine pathology scales magnificently on social media.
So you don't think she ever loved you?
I don't think she ever loved me. Because if she did, it wouldn't be that easy to leave.
Moving on to another major trait of toxic women, control and excessive envy. Yes, these women will try to call you a cheater just for being nice to other people or having things she doesn't. This might look innocent, but it can easily escalate and become a huge problem down the road. Imagine being in a relationship with someone who constantly seeks to control every aspect of your life. It's a suffocating experience where your autonomy takes a backseat to her incessant need for dominance as if you were a criminal. These women thrive on exerting power over you, dictating what you do, who you meet, and even how you feel. Their desire for control knows no bounds, and it seeps into every crevice of the relationship. Control manifests in various forms. She might try to manipulate your decisions, undermining your confidence and leaving you perpetually uncertain. Gradually, you find your life being molded according to her whimsical preferences, and any resistance is met with further resistance or emotional blackmail. She subtly isolates you, severing your ties with friends and family, creating a dependency that only reinforces her dominion. Real talk, this type of woman will try to make you feel like you ain't shit without her, as if she was a goddamn prize. Excessive envy is another corrosive trait that can poison a relationship. It goes beyond healthy competition or a normal twinge of jealousy. It's an all-consuming fire, fueled by her inability to celebrate your achievements. Your success becomes a bitter pill for her to swallow, a relentless reminder of their perceived inadequacies. Instead of being your cheerleader, she'll turn into a critic, begrudging every step you take towards success. In such a relationship, achievements turn into battlegrounds. She can't genuinely celebrate your victories. Instead, she diminishes them, attempting to undercut your hard-earned accomplishments. No joke, when you make top dollar, she'll even call you a broke bum by comparing you to Cristiano Ronaldo or LeBron James. Your joy becomes a source of their resentment, breeding a toxic environment that hinders growth and erodes happiness. In both cases, escaping the clutches of such toxicity is paramount. It's easy to fall into a pattern of rationalization, excusing her behavior due to their past or inner demons. But this is really simple. You owe it to yourself to prioritize your mental and emotional health. Just like women put themselves first, so do men. Healthy relationships are built on trust, mutual respect, and the ability to celebrate each other's successes and individuality, right? So, got no time for envious hoes who minimize your hard-earned achievements, period. Steering clear of women with controlling tendencies and excessive envy is an act of self-preservation. It might be tempting to believe that love can conquer all, but the truth is that some chicks are inherently toxic, and no amount of love or understanding can alter this reality. She's the one who needs therapy, not you. Be vigilant for the red flags, those subtle warning signs that hint at their controlling or envious nature. Listen to your instincts and prioritize your own well-being. Refuse to be entangled in a web of control or envy. Choosing to distance yourself from such individuals is not an act of selfishness, it's an act of self-respect. In conclusion, recognizing and avoiding individuals with controlling and envious traits is an investment in your future happiness. Surround yourself with those who uplift and support you, celebrate your triumphs, and respect your autonomy. It's a conscious choice to safeguard your emotional health and build relationships founded on love, trust, and understanding. Stand firm in this choice, because in doing so, you pave the way for a fulfilling and wholesome life.
What's up, my guys? Don't get me wrong. I love a good video bashing your sense of style, gym addiction, horrible taste in shoes, and overall lack of dating skills. But I actually do want the best for you. Here are some signs of a manipulative woman. Run. She tells you who you can and cannot associate with, and seems to have a problem with literally all of your friends. This also includes controlling your phone, like your passcode, and monitoring your DMs. Tell me, what else are you gonna let her control? She constantly claims how she doesn't trust you. If she doesn't trust you, and you've tried to work on a solution for that problem, with no success, the door's right there. She uses her tears for sympathy. Amber Heard. She constantly shuts down and leaves you guessing as to what the problem is. Ghosting is for children. Adults talk about their problems. She, what I like to call, pokes the bear, aka not knowing when the hell to leave you alone. She enjoys the drama and never knows when to walk away from a disagreement. She withholds sex as a form of punishment. Toxic. She uses if-then statements. For example, if you stop doing this, then I'll start doing that. This is a relationship, not a negotiation.
Love when she mentioned Amber Heard. Anyway, let's dive into the last sign of toxic women: mind games. It's a subtle, sinister strategy that chips away at your emotional fortitude and keeps you perpetually off balance. Recognizing and avoiding chicks who thrive on this toxic gameplay is crucial for preserving your mental well-being and fostering authentic connections. Imagine being entangled with a girl who plays mind games, manipulates, and deceives to control the narrative. Note the word narrative. It's a labyrinth of uncertainty, where their words and actions are cleverly calculated to keep you guessing. They thrive on power, and this power is derived from your confusion and emotional turmoil. These mind games manifest in various forms. They might employ passive-aggressive comments, leaving you second-guessing their intentions and your own worth. Gaslighting is another insidious tactic, where they subtly distort reality, making you question your sanity. They're masters of emotional withholding, deploying affection as a reward and punishment, perpetually keeping you in a state of craving.
3 mind games people play to manipulate you. Triangulation. Involving a third person to create tension and suspicion, or to divide and conquer by creating separate narratives for each person. playing victim, doing something upsetting and then acting more upset than the person they upset, push and pull, creating attachment by pursuing and withdrawing repeatedly.
So that right there was a clear example of games that a narcissist or a toxic person will play, like hiding the keys, turning the pictures upside down, leaving stuff out, making stuff disappear and things like that, just to get a reaction out of you. Narcissistic people, toxic people will hide things to inconvenience you, to make themselves feel better, to make themselves feel like they are in control, and to get a reaction out of you, to trigger you. And I say this all the time: if a narcissist or toxic person can trigger you, they can control you. Because narcissists will hide the keys and help you look for them, and then find the keys and pretend to be the hero, and then proceed to chastise you for being so forgetful, so clumsy, and things like that. You're lucky you got me, because if you wouldn't have me, you would lose your own head if it wasn't screwed on tight enough. And typically this is a continuous thing when you're in a relationship with a narcissist or a toxic person. They'll continue to do this, continue to trigger you as long as the relationship goes on, and as long as they can.
In a relationship, such mind games can be destructive. They erode trust, sow doubt, and create an unstable environment. You find yourself tiptoeing around their emotions, afraid of triggering another game. You're walking on eggshells. Your self-esteem suffers as you become a pawn in their elaborate chessboard. Steering clear of individuals who indulge in these mind games is an act of self-preservation. It might be tempting to believe that you can decipher their behavior or perhaps even change them, but that's a dangerous illusion. Mind game players are entrenched in their ways, and no amount of love or understanding will alter their fundamental approach to relationships. Recognize the signs, those subtle manipulations, the inconsistent behavior, and the frequent guilt trips. Yes, when she calls you out for cheating when in reality you're loyal, bet that she's the cheater. Listen to your intuition, since it often whispers the truth that your heart and penis refuse to accept. Respect yourself enough to exit this twisted game. Your mental health should never be a pawn in someone else's play. Stay strong, guys. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you will get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video, guys. Till next time.